Before we install a new radiator, we have to test it and make sure it works. One of the most overlooked but important steps of a radiator removal is making sure the engine is extremely cold. You do not want to try and remove really hot fluids because there's a chance you would burn yourself. So this car has not moved in a decade. Dad joke. So we are good to go at this point. Once the radiator is cool, take the cap off and then find yourself all the splash pads you possibly can find, because when you start to take apart things that have fluids in it, you have no idea where it's going to go. So I grabbed a bunch of cardboard, and we're going to have to pop this little drain plug off using a screwdriver, which I'm not optimistic about because it's a 30-year-old radiator. So I got the cardboard down, and here is my trusty receptacle. Plan B. Get this in back. There we go. Whoop. It's getting most of it. That's the good news. You're right. Huh? There you go. Thanks. Yeah, so it's just down to a little bit of a trickle at this point. So you have the option now of taking the radiator fan off. It's held on by 2 bolts up top and 1 underneath. It's not necessary to do. You can take them out both together, but taking the fan off will give you a little extra wiggle room. Now you actually have to undo the upper and lower radiator hoses, which connect the block to your radiator. The top one's easy to pull it off. The bottom one, though, it's hard to access if you have one of these under trays, but the engineers are the smartest engineers and actually put a small secret door in it. So you just pull that down and boom, lower radiator hose right there. There are 2 bolts that hold the radiator in, one on the passenger side, one on the driver's side. Take those off, make sure that your fan wiring is disconnected, and then you're good to go and lift the radiator up and out. With the old radiator out, we can now test it to see how bad it actually was. So the new radiator didn't come with all the hardware that we need to anchor the new radiator into the Miata. So you need to undo those little clamps and then take these bolts as well as the grommets down there and put them onto the new radiator to help us secure the new radiator to the car. So now put your new radiator in, repeat the process but backwards, secure all your bolts, double check all your hoses and clamps and your fan wiring. When you put the new fluid in, do a little bit at the time just in case there is a leak. Otherwise, you're good to go.